Welcome back to Simply Southern. Earlier, you heard from one Alabama farm family whose monthly insurance premiums cost more than their mortgage. It's a problem the Alabama Farmers Federation wants to address in the next legislative session, which starts February 4th. To talk more about this issue, we welcome Russ Durrance of the Federation. Russ, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mary. Glad to be with you.
So first off, just kind of summarize for me what you're hearing from farmers and some of the struggles that they have with healthcare coverage.
Yeah, well, as you know, farmers are unlike most folks out there in the workforce in the fact that they do not have access oftentimes to employer-provided care. So really, Mary, to summarize it, I would tell you that as we've met with farmers across the state of Alabama, this is really a loss of production issue for our folks. On one hand, you have farmers that are losing the ability to be productive on the farm by working an off-the-farm job in town, or maybe having a spouse work an off-the-farm job to help them either offset the cost or maintain or find employer-provided coverage. And then if they're not doing that, Mary, a lot of these folks are tying up a lot of their assets into paying for the price of this health care.
And that is a really big issue. Farmers need to be on their farm and investing in that. But also when it comes to farming, what are some of the other inherent things about this career that makes health care such an important issue?
Yeah, well, health care is certainly an issue for everybody. It's very important for everybody because we all have to go to the doctor. We all have needs. We all have to make sure that we have the ability to pay for those when we have to go to the hospital. So farming is an inherently dangerous and risky profession, and it's very important that farmers have the peace of mind that health insurance and that health coverage is able to provide them.
So also along those lines, we're talking about the affordability of it. Why do farmers need something that's more affordable for their businesses?
Well, for the folks that have access to employer-provided care, oftentimes an employer helps offset the cost of some of those things. So for a farmer that's out there paying full freight for their health care needs, it's extremely important that they're able to afford it. Mary, and to your point, commodity prices right now in our country are at an absolute all-time low, and input costs are at an all-time high. And so in order to make ends meet on the farm, adding a healthcare expense that's extremely unaffordable is more and more challenging each and every day.
Now, I know in this next legislative session, there is going to be a bill that will hopefully help solve some of these issues. So what's the latest on that legislation? Yeah,
you mentioned February 4th, the Alabama legislature will come back to Montgomery. Last year, Senator Arthur Orr of Decatur introduced a bill that would allow the Farmers Federation to sell a health plan of their own to meet the needs of farmers. So we anticipate him bringing that bill back in February and hope to get it across the street to the governor sometime before the legislature adjourns.
All right, well, hopefully that will happen. And how can everybody keep up to date on what's happening with that bill?
Yep, the best way to stay up to date is either alphafarmers.org or the health plan website, healthyoption.org.
Russ, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Up next, Stacy Little makes peanut butter the star of a seasonal favorite with his easy peanut butter fudge.
For landowners across Alabama, a well-maintained pond can be a source of beauty, recreation, and pride. But managing a pond effectively takes know-how and the right resources. Today, we'll discover how Alabama Extension provides go-to expertise for maintaining water quality, stocking fish, controlling weeds, and more.
So Corey, I've got this lake here that it's always green and
Aquatic Resource Regional Agent Corey Courtwright fields all kinds of questions on how to effectively manage a pond. He often answers a question with questions of his own, beginning with, what do you want your pond to be?
Set the goals for the pond. Is it a pond that you're managing for trophy bass? Or is it a pond you want your grandkids to be able to come down and know they're going to catch something every time, even if it's not something big?
Whether it's fish habitat or just part of a beautiful landscape, maintaining a pond's water quality is critical. Aquatic weeds are often a given, and Alabama Extension is always here to help.
With the Extension, we bridge the gap between the fishery scientists and the pond owner. There's a lot of ways we may do it. We may ask you to send in pictures to us. We may be able to come visit your pond, but I do a lot of work actually just via email, having people send pictures in to me so that I can identify the plant, and then from there we'll have a conversation about what are possible control methods.
A well-maintained pond brings years of enjoyment, and at the end of the day, even the simplest moments by the water can be the most rewarding.
It improves the quality of life for all of us, and the more access we have to good quality fishing, the better quality of life we're going to have. A bad day fishing is better than a good day most anywhere else.
To learn more about pond management, visit Alabama Extension online at aces.edu.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
For more Simply Southern, follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern continues in a moment.
Buying from local farms has turned healthy eating into an adventure for the kids.
Beef tastes even better when you know the farmers who raise it. I love a good steak, and it's nice knowing that our local ranchers are helping our environment.
I do like a little honey in my tea. Keeping my money in the local economy by buying from Alabama farmers makes it taste even sweeter.
Bring the farm to your home. Discover what's growing near you at sweetgrownalabama.org.